Zhuge Liang was history's ultimate battlefield mastermind. He could predict weather to destroy massive armies. He single-handedly kept a failing empire alive. His mind engineered terrifying rapid-fire weapons. He once scared an army completely unarmed. He executed his favorite general for discipline. His inventions changed ancient Chinese warfare forever. He served his nation until his death. Today, he's a god of wisdom. This is the chronicle of his genius. The legendary strategist was born in the year 181 during the violent collapse of the Han dynasty. He lost both of his parents during his early childhood and endured terrible poverty. He fled his war-torn home in Shandong and found shelter in the southern wilderness. To escape the constant regional conflicts, he built a simple thatched cottage in Longzhong. He spent his youth farming the fields by day and studying complex military texts by night. He closely analyzed ancient geography, political history, and the tragic failures of past emperors. He married a brilliant woman named Huang Yueying, who was famous for her incredible mind. His wife actually invented complex mechanical wooden puppets that inspired his later tactical creations. Local scholars recognized his hidden potential and nicknamed him the legendary Crouching Dragon. At that time, a desperate and defeated warlord named Liu Bei was searching for an advisor. Liu Bei traveled to Zhuge Liang's humble cottage 3 separate times just to request an audience. If you enjoy these epic animated history lessons, please like this video right now. Deeply moved by the warlord's deep humility, the young scholar finally agreed to join his cause. He immediately presented the famous Longzhong plan to divide China into 3 balanced competitor kingdoms. Zhuge Liang first demonstrated his genius at the Battle of Baoang by burning the enemy vanguard. He used clever ambush tactics and elemental fire to completely crush a much larger invasion force. A massive northern dictator named Cao Cao became furious and sent an army of hundreds of thousands. Zhuge Liang evacuated the local citizens of Xinya before burning the empty city to trap the invaders. He then traveled to the eastern kingdom of Wu to secure a vital military alliance against Cao Cao. He engaged in brilliant verbal debates with dozens of hostile scholars and won their respect. The supreme commander of Wu grew incredibly jealous of Zhuge Liang's terrifyingly sharp intellect. The commander demanded that Zhuge Liang produce 100,000 arrows within just 3 days. Zhuge Liang took 20 large boats covered in thick straw and sailed into a heavy river fog. He beat drums to trick the nervous enemy into firing millions of arrows at his phantom fleet. He easily collected all the arrows stuck in the straw and delivered them to his shocked rival. He then accurately predicted the weather and used a shifting southeastern wind to burn Cao Cao's fleet. This legendary victory at the Battle of Red Cliffs successfully secured the 3-way split of China. With his guidance, Liu Bei successfully established the independent Western Kingdom of Shu Han. Zhuge Liang was officially appointed as the Chancellor to manage the entire state's legal system. He created remarkably fair laws that rewarded true merit and strictly punished corrupt royal officials. He worked tirelessly to improve agriculture and design new water systems for the poor peasants. When rebellious southern tribes threatened the borders, he personally led a massive pacification campaign. He captured the fierce tribal king Ming 7 times and released him safely every single time. After the 7th release, the deeply moved tribal king swore eternal loyalty to the kingdom of Shu. Make sure to subscribe to Stickman Chronicles. Zhuge Liang returned to the capital only to find his master Liu Bei on his tragic deathbed. The dying warlord begged Zhuge Liang to take the imperial throne if the young prince proved foolish. Zhuge Liang wept bitterly and swore an ultimate oath to protect the young prince until his own death. He took absolute control of the government and prepared the small kingdom for total war. He invented the famous Zhuge crossbow, which could fire 10 deadly iron bolts in 15 seconds. He also engineered the wood ox, a mechanical wheelbarrow used to transport heavy supplies over mountains. To protect his marching soldiers from cavalry, he arranged the mystical stone sentinel maze in the desert. He launched a series of 5 difficult northern expeditions to conquer the rival kingdom of Wei. During these campaigns, he discovered a brilliant young enemy officer named Jiang Wei on the battlefield. Zhuge Liang used a clever deception strategy to convince Jiang Wei to defect and become his apprentice. His supreme northern rival was a patient and brilliant commander named Sima Yi, who feared the dragon. Sima Yi ordered his troops to avoid direct battle and simply starve out Zhuge Liang's forces. During one campaign, Zhuge Liang's arrogant general Ma Su completely ignored orders of the passive jetting. Ma Su's terrible blunder allowed the enemy to cut off the water supply and destroy the Shu vanguard. This catastrophic defeat forced Zhuge Liang to order a full retreat and abandon his northern gains. To maintain military discipline, a weeping Zhuge Liang ordered the public execution of his beloved general Ma Su. Following the retreat, Zhuge Liang found himself trapped in an unfortified town with only a few soldiers. Sima Yi rapidly approached the location with an army of over 100,000 elite warriors. Zhuge Liang ordered his remaining men to throw open all the city gates and hide from view. He donned a simple scholar robe and sat peacefully on top of the city wall, playing a lute. Sima Yi arrived and suspected that the completely open gates were part of a deadly hidden ambush. The terrified northern general ordered a total retreat without firing a single arrow at the town. This legendary psychological masterstroke became immortalized in history as the empty fort strategy. Zhuge Liang continued his relentless northern campaigns despite his rapidly failing physical health. The immense stress of managing an entire empire's logistics and military plans began to destroy him. He refused to rest and personally cross-checked even the smallest punishment records every single night. Sima Yi continued his strict defensive strategy, completely refusing to march out and fight the dragon. Zhuge Liang famously sent Sima Yi a box containing women's clothing to mock his complete lack of courage. Sima Yi calmly accepted the clothes and simply asked the messenger about Zhuge Liang's eating habits. When Sima Yi learned that the Chancellor ate very little and worked all night, he knew his rival was dying. In the year 234, Zhuge Liang fell critically ill at his military camp on the Wuzhong Plains. He attempted a mystical 7-star lantern ritual to extend his lifespan by another 10 years. A panicked general suddenly rushed into the tent to report an emergency and accidentally knocked over the main lamp. Zhuge Liang accepted his tragic fate and knew that the heavens had decreed the end of his journey. On his deathbed, he wrote a beautiful final testament urging the young emperor to avoid corrupt sycophants. He also gave his secret tactical journals and mechanical blueprints to his trusted apprentice Jiang Wei. He passed away peacefully inside his military tent at the age of 53, surrounded by weeping officers. Before dying, he ordered his generals to construct a realistic life-sized wooden statue of his likeness. As the Shu army quietly retreated, Sima Yi launched a massive pursuit to destroy the leaderless forces. The Shu generals suddenly turned around and brought out the wooden statue of Zhuge Liang in a chariot. Sima Yi saw the statue, believed he had fallen into another brilliant trap, and fled in absolute panic. This hilarious event sparked a famous ancient Chinese proverb that a dead dragon scares away a living tiger. According to his final wishes, Zhuge Liang was buried on Mount Dingjun inside a simple wooden coffin. He strictly forbade his followers from placing any gold, jewels, or expensive treasures inside his tomb. He wanted to be buried in his everyday clothes to reflect the humble lifestyle he maintained. For strong soldiers carried his coffin deep into the mountains until the thick carrying ropes naturally snapped. The exact location of his final resting place remains a total mystery because the executioners were killed. Without his brilliant leadership, the kingdom of Shu Han slowly weakened over the following decades. The young emperor fell under the influence of corrupt eunuchs and eventually surrendered to the northern forces. Jiang Wei attempted a final desperate plot to restore the kingdom, but ultimately failed and died in battle. Though his kingdom fell, Zhuge Liang's incredible legacy of loyalty and wisdom survived the test of time. He became the central hero of the legendary epic novel known as the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Today, beautiful temples and giant monuments stand all over China to honor his unparalleled tactical mind. His name is used in modern Chinese language as a literal synonym for a person of extreme intelligence. He successfully rose from an obscure countryside farmer to become the most respected prime minister in history. He proved to the world that a brilliant mind could completely alter the destiny of massive warring nations. His unique military inventions continued to influence Asian warfare tactics for hundreds of years. He spent his entire adulthood working tirelessly to fulfill a sacred promise made to a traveling warlord. The master strategist left behind an eternal legacy of unmatched devotion, honor, and supreme tactical genius. He successfully balanced the power of three massive empires using nothing but his staggering intellect. His life remains history's greatest example of ultimate loyalty maintained through absolute adversity. From his quiet days in a thatched cottage to his final breath on the stormy Wuzhong plains, he was unmatched. He redefined the boundaries of psychological warfare and political administration for generations to come. His complex strategies are still studied by military academies and corporate leaders around the globe today. He remains an immortal icon of chivalry who chose honor over personal gain at every single turn. The world will likely never see another mastermind quite like the Crouching Dragon of China. His memory continues to inspire millions of people through books, television shows, and video games. He began his life in complete obscurity and ended it as a legendary legend of ancient history. His stories remind us that true power comes from wisdom, preparation, and an unyielding sense of duty. Smash that like button if you were blown away by this ancient tactical mastermind. Subscribe to Stickman Chronicles right now to join our growing community of history lovers. We upload brand new animated history videos every single day, so you never miss an epic tale. Leave a comment below letting us know which historical figure we should cover in our next video. Thank you so much for watching this deep dive into ancient strategy. See you tomorrow for another wild story on Stickman Chronicles.